A local grocery store chain made a huge donation to one Eastern Kentucky foundation today, hoping that donation will change the lives of Eastern Kentuckians who are rebuilding after the historic flooding in late July. WYMT's Dakota Makers has more from Whitesburg.
Pretty special day for us as we
Food
get
City
to make
staff presented a check totaling more
of...
than $380,000 to the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky's Flood Relief Fund.
We actually used 60-some stores that we did the fundraising drive in. We ask our customers to round their order up or to make a $1, $2, $3 contribution. We had overwhelming support.
Food City teamed up with WYMT along with other television stations in the Tri-Cities to host a 10-day fundraising campaign to benefit flood victims. Food City pledged $25,000 to kick it off.
I am pleased beyond my imagination that so much money was raised in such a short period of time, and this will all go back into this bigger pot that will go right back out to the people who need it and need it the most.
The recovery is going to take a long time. The foundation is still in crisis mode, saying it could take another month to give out the cash to people who applied.
So we're starting to move into how do we get building materials to people who are ready to do that? How do we help people repair their homes that are repairable, that it makes sense to repair them, and get them dried in for the winter?
Helping Eastern Kentuckians during the long haul. In Whitesburg, Dakota Makers, WYMT Mountain News.
The foundation has already given out more than $2 million in relief aid. Knott County local Donna Roark and her family have been collecting donations for flood victims since the disaster struck and giving them away to people who need it. Clothes, appliances, and more crowd a tent in Roark's yard as the need for those supplies continues to grow. Roark says nobody will be left behind.
I want the people to know that we are here for you guys no matter what. We're going to be here until the last person gets everything they need.
Roark says they need a new storage building for all those piles of donations. We'll hear more from her later tonight.
Well, we'll continue to watch rather nice conditions around the mountains as we run through the evening hours. As we head from the afternoon into the evening, things all quiet out there. In fact, beautiful appearing. Blue skies, fair weather clouds, temperatures near 80. I'll take that all day long, and that's what we've seen all day long. As we've gone through this Thursday, pinpoint Dopplers a clean sweep at least around the mountains proper. Just to the east, though, as you head just east of Buchanan and Dickinson counties in southwest Virginia, and that's in Russell County, Virginia, seeing a few downpours there. So can't rule out a shower trying to sneak into those areas, but it'll be few and far in between tonight. And you see satellite and radar, that little boundary off to the east trying to sneak on in, though the majority of us do stay dry. Upper 70s to near 80 outside right now. Dew points are in the upper 50s and low 60s. Enjoy the low humidity while it's here, because we do have some changes on the way as we head into the next couple of days. For tonight, all is quiet. Patchy fog out there, low 60s, though we could see a few clouds try to increase a little bit later on. I'll have the details, though, on when we could see some heavy rain return to the mountains coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thanks. Steve Bannon, a longtime ally of former President Trump, surrendered to New York authorities today, facing charges of money laundering, conspiracy, and scheming to defraud donors who wanted to build a wall along the U.S. border with Mexico. CBS's Elise Preston is at the courthouse in downtown Manhattan.
Steve Bannon left a Manhattan courtroom, now facing criminal charges in connection with a fundraising effort to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. Prosecutors say the one-time White House chief political strategist for former President Trump told donors not a penny of their money would go to the president of the We Build the Wall campaign.
But instead of pennies, the president of We Build the Wall received more than $250,000 in a salary funded by donations, at least $140,000 of which we allege was laundered by Steve Bannon.
Prosecutors say in a series of payments in 2019, Bannon directed the wall campaign to transfer tens of thousands of dollars at a time to his not-for-profit corporation. They allege that money was then sent back to the president of We Build the Wall.
Mr. Bannon lied to ordinary citizens about this project. He diverted their hard-earned money. He preyed upon the emotions of New Yorkers and Americans.
Bannon had faced federal charges in connection with the project. The U.S. Justice Department alleged Bannon personally received more than $1 million from the operation. Former President Trump pardoned Bannon on his last day in office.
Steve Bannon could be in great legal jeopardy in terms of prison time.
Outside of the courthouse, Bannon called the charges political ahead of the 2022 midterm elections.
We're not going to back down, and they will not be able to shut me up.
Less than 2 months ago, Bannon was convicted of contempt of Congress for refusing to cooperate with the January 6th committee investigating the attack on the Capitol. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Bannon was ordered to surrender his passport, and he's scheduled to be back in court on October 4th. 2 other men involved in the We Build the Wall project pleaded guilty in April. A third defendant's trial ended in a mistrial. Back here closer to home, a woman is recovering after going over Cumberland Falls. The Whitley County Emergency Manager says a woman was taking pictures at the falls yesterday afternoon. At some point, she fell into the water and beyond the edge of the falls. People standing nearby called 911. Officials say the woman went past the barricade and tried to take a picture while standing in the river. She dropped her phone and reached down to get it. That's when the rushing current sent her over the edge. A 68-foot drop into a body of water about 400 feet deep.
If she probably didn't know how to swim, it definitely would have been a different outcome.
That's tough, and I mean there's so much waves and so much current in there that it's tough. I'm glad she's all right.
EMS Director Anthony Christie says the woman swam towards first responders, getting out with no injuries and refusing treatment from EMS. This afternoon, people were snapping selfies just a few feet away from where the woman fell. Officials say it is very important to stay safe, and they are reminding folks to stay behind the gate. 11 University of Kentucky students were injured late last night after shots were fired at a party off campus. One student was shot, and police say 10 others were injured by shrapnel. It happened at a house on University Avenue. 19-year-old Jason Almanza Arroyo, who is not a student at UK, has been charged in connection with the shooting. Police say he is one of 3 who were arrested. Arroyo's arrest citation says he was under the influence and had a loaded gun. It's also reported that he spit in an officer's mouth.
One shot was fired in the residence, resulting in one individual being shot in the leg, and then shrapnel from the round hitting the concrete struck another 10 individuals that sustained minor injuries.
Court documents say a victim identified the suspect, saying Arroyo pointed a gun at him when they asked Arroyo to leave the party. UK officials said today only, again, one shot was fired in the basement where the bullet hit one student. The Harlan County 4-H hosted a 3-day-long environmental camp, bringing in 4th graders from different schools each day and teaching them the importance of the environment. WYMT's Olivia Calfee was there today and joined the fun with them.
4th grade students from each school in Harlan County have participated in the 4-H environmental camp this week. The camp has been hosted on Martins Fork Lake, and students have gotten to take classes learning the importance of recycling, water quality, air quality, and even taken an archery class.
They're getting to talk with and listen to professionals in their field. I know they have teachers, good teachers, but sometimes you don't learn some of the things in school that you're going to be learning here. So it's really, really interesting. And it's a way of getting out in the community and getting to do some things outside the classroom.
This is the 25th year that 4-H has hosted their environmental camp. In Harlan County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
Olivia will have more from the students and the fun they had tonight at 6. But coming up as First at 4 continues, many workers are hoping for a big raise in the future due to inflation, but one survey shows they may not get the increase they're expecting.
And cool and dry tonight, but some soggy and more humid conditions working in later this week and into the weekend. Details ahead.